Welcome back to the Tiffany Ford Travel Channel. Today, I will take you to the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is located in Egypt, not in Las Vegas or at the Louvre Museum in Paris. It is about 10 miles from the capital of Egypt, which is Cairo. Population over 20 million. The Great Pyramid was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It is the only one that survived. The other 6 ancient wonders no longer exist and are only in history books. Before we start, let's talk about safety. Is Egypt safe for tourists? Definitely yes, it is safe. Egypt has security screenings, bag checks, and armed guards everywhere. They are at airports, hotels, and especially at tourist sites. It takes a bit getting used to seeing the armed guards wherever you go, but they are there to keep everyone safe. Egyptians take your safety visiting their country seriously. They want you to have an enjoyable and safe experience. Why was the Great Pyramid built and who built it? Actually, on the Giza Plateau there are 3 pyramids, the Great Pyramid being the biggest of the 3. All 3 belong to the same family. The father pharaoh, Khufu, his son, Pharaoh Khafra, and Khufu's grandson, Pharaoh Menkaure. This video will focus on the biggest and the grandest pyramid of them all, the one that was built by Pharaoh Khufu about 4,500 years ago, between 2580 to 2560 BC. That was a very, very long time ago. The pyramid was originally 481 feet tall, but has shrunk over the centuries to 455 feet. This is about 45 stories tall. It measures 750 feet on each side. It was the tallest in the world for about 3,800 years. There are no stairs, elevators, or escalators. Yes, you can go inside the pyramid if you dare, but I will get to that in a little bit later. Why was it built? Pharaoh Khufu had the structure built as his final resting place. It was his tomb. He was the 2nd pharaoh of the 4th dynasty and reigned between 2589 to 2566 BC. The pyramid is the only structure that is left from his reign. The only surviving statue of Pharaoh Khufu measures only 3 inches tall. He left behind 481-foot tall pyramid and a 3-inch statue that bears his name. We start the day early, not only to beat the crowds, but to beat the temperatures at the Giza Plateau. By midday, it is Africa hot. We traveled with our driver and our Egyptologist guide. It is common to travel in small vans instead of a bus. One reason being security. A van attracts less attention. The second reason is heavy traffic. A city of 20+ million people causes traffic nightmares, not to mention the roads have no lane markings. Being a passenger is terrifying driving around Cairo. Make sure to tip your driver generously. Your life depends on it. My family and I chose Noah Tours, and I'm very happy that we did. The tour guides and drivers that were selected were wonderful. It was nice to sit back, relax, and enjoy Egypt. The driver dropped us off with our guide to the Giza Plateau. Our tour guide Shai dropped us up at the Great Pyramids of Giza. But before going inside, it is recommended to use the restroom there.
And they're located
on the right-hand side.
And of course, every good tourist knows you have to be prepared and
bring your own toilet paper with you.
That's right. Usually they don't have enough, Or they give you 2 piddly sheets, which is not enough to do your business.
Or they charge you to use their facilities. And after you use the restroom, on the left-hand side is where you can get your tickets.
And our lovely tour guide got us the tickets to the Giza Plateau. 200 Egyptian pounds, or about 13 bucks each. And 2 of us decided to be brave and do the
Great Pyramid.
Yes, there was 400 Egyptian pounds, or about $26 each. So 2 tickets for 2 of us.
Let's see, after we got our tickets, we're at the main attraction, the Great Pyramid, which it has 2 different entrances. You see, one is the main entrance, which is blocked off. And the next has the...
It's the robbers' entrance. They dug it out many, many centuries ago. It's a little tiny entrance.
So probably to go over the do's and don'ts when going inside the pyramid. First is fashion. Suitable footwear is mandatory. Do not wear high heels.
That's a big no-no.
Ow. Careful with the...
That's right. It's very painful. All right.
As I just showed. Another big no-no is flip-flops. Forget about it. And what really saved me for the pyramid is regular gym shoes. If you're interested, these are Air Jordan blue shoes you can find on eBay. But back to the pyramids. Next, you can't bring in your professional camera. Or
Not
video
allowed.
Camera. Not allowed. Only thing you can do is bring your cell phone, but they won't give out the same good quality as regular professional cameras.
And let's face it, using the cell phone when you're climbing a steep hill on little boards, deadly bad decision. Medical conditions. If you're claustrophobic, do not go in there. If you have asthma, do not go in there. There are also no escalators, no elevators. No one's going to come and help you if you have a medical emergency. It's hot, it's stuffy, there's hardly any air to breathe, and it's like running a marathon for, 20, 30 minutes? So if something happens to you, no one can come in and help you. It's small, tight, cramped. We were insane to go in there.
So if you're not physically fit, I always suggest not going. Here I am finally next to the Great Pyramid. I can't believe it. I'm finally here. OMG. It is huge. I have to talk to my mom into going inside the Great Pyramid with me. How am I going to do that? But first, let our tour guide tell you some interesting facts about the pyramids.
So talking about how they constructed the pyramids, it takes, for example, 30 years of construction just to finish this one only. And they used the blocks came from the same quarry as this area. It was a huge quarry. So they brought the majority of the stones that they used for the construction of the greatest pyramid. So for this pyramid, we have the 3 qualities in this area for the limestone. This is considered to be the middle quality of limestone, and then the 3 pyramids should be totally covered using a smooth and fine quality of limestone to cover the 3 pyramids. Where is this cover or casing? You can see a part of it in the base of the first pyramid. You can see a part of it on the top of the second pyramid. But unfortunately, the early Christians and the early Muslims, they took the majority of the casing just to build different churches.
Here is a diagram of the Great Pyramid. It contains 2 passages, the main entrance and the robber's entrance. Since we couldn't go through the main entrance, we used the robber's entrance instead. After we gave the guards our tickets, we went on a short walk inside the pyramid. As we got closer to the entrance of the first ascending passage, we had to duck a little bit because the ceiling was only 3.5 feet high ceiling, and I bonked my head a couple of times, and yes, it did hurt. We emerged into the first ascending passage, which is 129 feet long. Here's what it looks like inside the ascending passage as you make your way up towards the light. It has a slope of 26 degrees. It is 4 feet wide, and the ceiling is 3.5 feet high. Hi, it's me. I'm going to give a demonstration what it's like to go inside the ascending passage. This is the outfit I chose. The ascending passage is about 3.5 feet tall, which is about the size of this little dude. So you can't climb standing up there. To crouch down like this. Imagine going up all those painful stairs for that long. It felt like going on for an eternity. At the end of the first ascending passage, we emerge into the Grand Gallery, which is 153 feet long. As we emerge from the ascending passage into the Grand Gallery, we could finally stand up. It is 28 feet tall. At this point, 90% of the tourists finally give up because it's very hot and humid and there's very little oxygen.
I can't take this anymore. I can't breathe. I need to go back. I'm giving up. This is it. I'm going.
Find your lack of faith disturbing. Perhaps I will find new ways to motivate you.
Okay, I'm motivated. I'm going up. I'm going.
At the end of the Grand Gallery, at this point, about 5% of people are like, "Ugh, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to head back downside." There are 2 Egyptian employees at the top encourage people, "Come on, you gotta do it. You're almost there. You don't want to miss it." Before you reach the king's chamber, you have to go for the antechamber. It's about 3 feet tall, which is about the size of an Ewok. If you're not an Ewok, you have to crouch down. You can see for humans, you have to crouch down into this narrow doorway.
And do the final crawl into the king's chamber.
Next part, you finally made it into the king's chamber. Inside, you can only see the bottom part of the sarcophagus. There's very little oxygen in there.
I find the lack of oxygen disturbing.
Going into Pharaoh Khufu's pyramid was definitely worth the sacrifice. It was hot, it was smelly, it was cramped. Yes, after I exited the pyramid, my legs were shaking. My fear of having a faceplant coming out of the pyramid and my picture posted all over YouTube did not happen. I survived. It was one of the most memorable experiences. How often do you get a chance to experience one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world inside and out? I would also like to thank Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and Ewok for making an appearance in the video. And I would like to mention that none of them were harmed during the filming. I look forward to seeing you on my next adventure.